What's up, tribe? If you're new to this channel, my name's Jacob. So I'm out here doing a lake walk with my dog here. She's back here on these rocks playing mountain goat, looking for animals, I guess. But the topic I want to discuss today is coping. So what I'm referring to specifically is coping with the fact that a lot of the stuff that we've been told and led to believe has been a lie. Because that can be a very, very hard thing for people to accept. And it can lead to a whole lot of coping that really is going to hold you back and keep you stuck in the perpetual cycle of being poisoned, having your health destroyed, consuming things that you shouldn't be consuming, and not being able to optimize your health. So let me just give you an example here. So I recently did a video about fluoride and the fact that federal court has now ruled that fluoride in drinking water, which they've been adding for the past 75 years, is now officially deemed harmful and has been shown to lower the IQ in adolescents, children, and developing babies. Because, come to find out, it's actually a neurotoxin and it causes developmental problems in the human brain. So there's a lot of people that's been saying this for years and years, and there's a lot of people that's been pushing to get fluoride pulled out of water. But it hasn't happened up until this point, and now this historic ruling has found this and has basically shown and proved this. And there's many other studies out there that have already proved this, and they've proved a lot of other really bad things about fluoride. But since this is official and it's been officially ruled in the federal court, they've decided to take action and start removing fluoride from our drinking water. So for a lot of people to hear that, it can be very, very difficult to take that in and to accept it. And I've seen a lot of people push back on this, saying that, you know, there were problems with the study and fluoride's completely safe, and saying that it's bad is fear-mongering, and all these things, basically trying to disprove and discredit the fact that fluoride has had negative impacts on human health. Now, the problem with this is that fluoride is a poison, 100% a poison. It's a toxin. If you drink fluoride in its raw state, undiluted, it will kill you. No questions asked, it will kill you. It is very, very toxic. It's been shown to eat holes through concrete. It is very, very corrosive. It can deteriorate and degrade your bones. Consuming any amount of that, even if it's diluted down, is not going to be optimal. So with that in mind, it would be extremely hard for me to defend fluoride and justify adding it to my drinking water and actually consuming it. Even if it's diluted down to a micro level, it's still toxic poison. And it's probably still going to have some sort of negative impact on your overall health. And maybe not today, but over the long term, it's almost guaranteed to do that. And the fact that you have two options. Option A is consume water with fluoride in it, and you're essentially consuming a toxic poison. Or option B is consume water that does not have fluoride in it. Which one are you going to choose? Because the options are on the table. It's not like we don't have access to the latter. So for me, the choice is very, very clear. But where the coping comes in is because these things, they really challenge your beliefs. They challenge your identity. They challenge everything about who you are. Because all your life you were told that, you know what, fluoride's in there because it's protecting you. It's protecting you from getting cavities, and it's necessary. So instead of going after ultra-processed food and excess sugar in the diet, which is actually really what's causing cavities, instead of getting humans and Americans a healthier diet and focusing on that, so we address the root problem of the cavities, we're just going to put fluoride in there and tell people that that's going to do the trick. You can eat as much processed food as you want, and as long as you have fluoride in your water, that's going to fix you and set you up for success. So accepting the truth of the matter and the fact that you're actually consuming a poison that is a neurotoxin and is very, very toxic, if you consume it, is a very hard thing for people to accept. And I can totally understand that. I can relate to that, because there's a lot of things that I learned in my healing journey that really challenged my beliefs and led to me questioning a whole lot of other stuff. It really led to me questioning almost everything. And when you're faced with that kind of information that challenges who you are as a person, it can be hard to deal with because it questions your identity. It makes you extremely vulnerable. And accepting the fact that the people in charge, the people that are supposed to be looking out for you, have actually been doing things that ultimately harm you over the long term, it can be very, very tough to accept that, and it can be a very hard realization. Because none of us want to believe that kind of stuff. There's a lot of stuff I didn't want to believe. I never would have thought in a million years that, you know, we've been told we have to have fruits and vegetables to live a healthy life, and red meat is actually bad. Never in a million years would I have believed that the opposite is true, that you don't have to have fruits and vegetables, and you can live not only a healthy life, but an optimal life eating only meat. Learning that, it blew my mind. And when I first heard about it, I did not accept it. I thought everybody that was talking about it was out of their minds, and I was dead sure that they were gonna die an early death. They were gonna have a heart attack, or they were gonna get colon cancer, or they were gonna get nutrient deficient and just waste away. But until I shoved my feet in those shoes and I walked that life, and I found out the truth, you would have never convinced me otherwise. And now that I have, these are just some things that you simply cannot unsee. So by clinging on to this information that we've been taught, and I would say indoctrinated into believing, and to just hold on to that and not have an open mind and question the narrative and question your beliefs, and at least be open to the idea that maybe everything that you've been told hasn't been 100% true. It could really be holding you back from experiencing true health, from getting away from things that could be causing detriment to your life. And this goes for anything in the diet and nutrition space, because there's a lot of stuff in food that we're told is completely healthy, and there's studies to back up to say that they're healthy. But there's also mountains of evidence to prove otherwise. And I would say the most profound evidence that we have, and the most irrefutable evidence that we have, is our surroundings, is to just look around us, look at the population. All the people that are sick, all the people that are suffering, all the people that have mental health disorders, the rates of cancer, diabetes, weight gain, obesity, it is unprecedented. Autoimmune conditions, unprecedented. All these things that we've never experienced to this level before are out of control. So if it's not the food, if it's not the things that we're told is healthy, and it's something else, I would love to know what that thing is. Comment below if you have any insight on what you think it is, if you don't think it's that. Because I would love to hear you out and see what your perspective is. But I can tell you from my experience, it all ties back to food and the things that we consume and what we put on our skin. Being sedentary is not going to lead to all these things that we're experiencing. Sure, it's good to get up and move around, and we're definitely not as active as we used to be, but that is not going to lead to an explosion of cancer that is going to top 200 million in 2024 for the first time ever. Over 73% of the population being overweight or obese is not due to people being sedentary, because even for a lot of people, they get out there and they exercise and they still can't lose weight. Because if you don't clean up your diet, you're not going to lose weight. You're not going to see progress like you would if you were actually eating a species appropriate diet, or a diet of whole natural foods and not all this toxic stuff from big industry. So I feel like one of the fastest, most effective things we can do to improve our health is to have an open mind. There's a lot of people out there that have differing opinions, saying this food's good or this food's bad, and you don't have to listen to these people, and you shouldn't, but you should hear what they have to say. Take that information in and form your own conclusions. Experiment on yourself. Do your own research. Have an open mind and be willing to be proven wrong. Because the people that come up with this stuff and tell us all this food's safe and healthy, and that there's nothing to worry about, we should just continue on doing what we're doing, even though the trajectory of us doing that is going to lead to very, very bad outcomes. Those are the same people that get massive kickbacks. They get millions upon millions, even possibly billions of dollars every single year to tell you that and to keep you buying the stuff that they're promoting as healthy. And they simply do not have your best interest in mind. And that's a big thing that you have to realize, is that the people telling us these things, they're not necessarily looking out for us. And they're definitely not looking out for us in the way that you're looking out for yourself, because no one has your best interest in mind more than yourself. Not your friends, not your family. Nobody. You have to be your own best health advocate, and you have to take initiative and really find these things out for yourself. Now, the good thing is there's a lot of people out there that have done a lot of the work for you, so you don't have to dig around and you don't have to research for hours or days on end. The only thing you have to do is have an open mind and limit the amount of coping you do that would allow you to avoid some really uncomfortable truths, because sometimes the best things come from being very uncomfortable, and that's how we learn and that's how we grow. That's where the hard lessons come in. The more uncomfortable you can be, the better off you are. Now, with that said, I don't know if you can see this, but the sky is not looking very pretty here, unfortunately. Sky is not what it used to be, that's for sure. It's wild. But I'm going to continue this walk with my dog. I'm going to try not to get poisoned from above here. That's another conspiracy rabbit hole to dive down. People telling you that, oh no, that's, you know, there's nothing going on here. This is all totally normal. But I don't know. I mean, I've been on this planet for 40 years, and I've not seen this kind of stuff that's been happening up until, not to this level anyway, up until just the last 5 to 10 years. So this is also some unprecedented stuff here. This is some uncharted territory that we're getting into. Really makes you think. Gotta question it. Don't cope. Think about it. Form your own conclusions. What's actually happening here? Question the narrative. Maybe one day we'll know the truth. So if you haven't done so already, be sure to like, subscribe, join the Apex Tribe. I'll see you in the next one. All right, peace out.